Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? It's Thursday, it's 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for the Relic Grind, the Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix podcast. The day before the live letter and the 14-hour stream starts, we're going to kick it off with some Final Fantasy XIV news. Roll through Reddit. Uh-oh, it came from Reddit. Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
All sorts of real stuff.
All sorts of stuff. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, as always. We appreciate you being here with us, especially chat here with us live on twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio. You can join us Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern for this show, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern for the Gaming Gumbo weekly gaming wrap-up, and then everything else. Everything else. All the streamers, including myself and Tarkoth and Faye, who goes live after this show, and Torchwick. Just everybody, come check it out. Schedule's below. Wherever you're watching or listening to this, give it a like, give it a review, subscribe, turn on those notifications, tell a friend. Easy, fast, cheap way to support us. Joining me today, Mr. Chris Montoya, a.k.a. Tarkoth. What's up, sir?
Greetings, programs. It has been a hell of a time. But, man, I'm so hyped and, agitated at the same time. Like, these RMT people are just ruining my party finder and not letting me get progressed in Savage. And we're not going to talk about that?
No, okay. I deleted that one because either they were not serious, in which case it's a waste of time to talk about, or they were serious and I didn't want to mock them for clearly having some type
of the conspiracy.
Issues.
You're trying to cover it up.
Clearly having some type of issues. Also on the line, Adam Lane. What's up, Kronos?
Silence a great Reddit post, too. Say.
Yeah, so live letter, gents, Friday, October 7th, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, Friday. So that's like Saturday morning, 12:30 in the morning, East Coast time. So a little over a day. A little over a day away. It's not quite tomorrow night, our time. But for Tark, it's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be there. I think I'm going to do it live. We'll see.
You're going to do it live?
Yeah.
Over on Tarkoth Gaming?
Yep. Be good
nice. Yeah, we won't be doing this one live. And then programming note, ironically, no show next week. With the live letter to talk about. We'll be headed to RIT for Torchwick's family homecoming / orientation, family orientation weekend. Like already he had orientation a long time ago, but this whole weekend it's like a bunch of family stuff coming up next weekend. So we'll be driving Friday next week. We'll be packing up and early, and so Thursday night it's gonna be tight, but then no show, just to make it easy on my family there. And then Saturday obviously no show. But all the streamers will be on as normal, except for Torchwick next Saturday. He'll be on this Saturday, no problem. Next Saturday, no dice. Hey, before we get started with the show notes and prep for the live letter, we should note that it just went out within the last hour on Square Enix's site that they are being they're under a third-party attack right now. Square Enix's account management system is under attack by third parties using email address and password combinations that Square says seem to have to have been obtained from a different company. So if you are obviously using the same email and password for Square Enix accounts that you are using elsewhere, that's a terrible practice in general. Don't do it. But if you are, you're going to need to change your password immediately. And they do also recommend one-time passwords, your authenticators, as usual. This attack is ongoing. This is all we have at the moment. But Square Enix and the team warning Kronos that, hey, if this continues or these numbers of attacks go up trying to access the account management system, they may in fact institute a system-wide everybody go reset your password. So something to stay tuned for. We can't have nice things.
I mean, these things happen when you're popular.
Yeah, just ask Overwatch.
Yeah, I've been playing that. Well, when I can get in. Yeah.
You actually got to play?
Yeah, I've played a lot, actually. It's a lot like
Really?
Endwalker launch. Yeah, you just get in and you stay in and then hope that you don't get DC'd.
Yeah, see, I don't care enough about the game, so I installed it on launch day, got in and saw the screen and it said 0 in queue and just sat there and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's clearly 0 in queue. And so I just was like, I tried 2 or 3 times and was like, nope, that's it. I don't care enough. And then yesterday I tried and it said like 2,200 or 2,000, something like that in queue. And I was just like, no, I just don't care enough. Like I'll see you when there's no queue. But, obviously DDoS attacks going on there as well, particularly on launch day. So Wrath Classic had it too. Like, it's just, this is just like the norm, Tark. Like everything on launch day, it's always... You always expect like queues and shit on launch days of expansions or new games and stuff, but then you add on the DDoS stuff on top of it, and it's just like, don't ever schedule off for the launch of anything, ever.
No joke. And everybody does, especially for expansions. They want to dive in and spend like a week playing, or Savages. That's another thing, but yeah, there's always got to be some people that just want to ruin other people's fun. So they're just like, let me just kill you all. So, sorry to all those people that are spending time trying to play something new or something refined.
Old
I won't
or
even
borrowed
call it,
or blue.
I won't even call it like a new game. It's just like Overwatch 1.5. It's
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, if you end up with an email from Square Enix saying change your password, then change your password. And if this continues tonight, we will all get one that says you gotta change your password. So yeah, if you're watching this show, get ready for it. Get ready for it. All right. Let's talk about some actual Final Fantasy XIV stuff. The live letter post itself is up, so we have the times. They really didn't elaborate more. Sometimes they say, hey, these are going to be like the main topics ahead of time, and we brought them up on a previous show, the kind of recapping of 6.2 and then moving on into what's coming in 6.2.5. And then when they put the official post up, sometimes we get a little more detail about what they're going to talk about. We did not. No. We got some guests, I guess, Kronos, and that's always nice. But as far as the show details, it's still reflecting on 6.2, looking forward to 6.25, and then an introduction to the work of the scenario team. And they're going to be talking to Daichi Hiroi, lead story designer, Natsuko Ishikawa, senior story designer, and Benri Oda, of course, senior story designer. And then we'll have, Yoshi P and Toshio. So I'm still my dungeons. That's all I really want to hear about. My dungeons.
I'd like to know if there's an ultimate in 6.3. That would be nice to know.
Do you think they're going to talk about 6.3 at all?
No.
Probably.
But
even a Yoshi P tease of some type.
I would like them to do that. I just want to know if it's coming or if I'm waiting till 6.5. That's kind of where I'm at. But
if I had to bet, I think you're waiting to 6.5. If I had to put money on it,
they said 6.3 when they did their roadmap. Remember they did that whole the next 10 years thing.
Yeah.
They said 6.3, but they've been really quiet.
Well, to be fair, they haven't talked about 6.3 at all. It wasn't just
yeah, they have it, but I guess I would just like to know, but I don't think they're going to talk about it. I think it's just going to be mostly criteria.
So place your bet. Are you getting a 6.3 ultimate?
If I'm betting money, I'd say it's 6.5 probably. I don't know which one I want, honestly. Well, if it's 6.3, then there's a chance I get a third one. So I'll probably rather have 6.3. But it's probably more likely there's just 2. So it doesn't really matter. As long as I get one, I'm happy.
Tark, one coming in 6.3 or not?
I would say about 75% yes.
Oh, look at you little optimist, you.
I think they've got the whole work from home and their processes kind of nailed down for what they're doing. And the extra time, I think it comes out.
The one thing that like kind of piqued my interest is they released the orchestral theme for Omega Male Female, which typically they use in the Ultimates when they do that.
Yeah, that's the Ultimates.
So they released that like 2 weeks ago. So maybe that's like the sign that it's still 6-3 and it's going to be
Newest girl in chat with you, Tark. I'm a 6-3
right.
truther. Lock it in.
All right, newest girl, let's do it.
It's like, God damn it! Like, everybody's a truther or a denier of something these days.
My goodness,
it's just everything.
Let's not get into politics.
It doesn't even have to be politics. Newest girl's a 6-3 truther. I'm a 6-3 denier. Sorry, I'm a 6-3 denier. I don't think you're getting the ultimate. Last week.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if it gets pushed back to 6.5, we could have a Shadowbringer situation where, we're spending too much time trying to get ready for the expansion where it's not going to be 6.5, and we just lose another Ultimate then. So,
I think players would burn the servers down at that point, right?
I
mean, when you're only talking about 1% of the player base, that's still a big number.
The nice thing too is the last time it was planned for 6.5. So it got like delayed and then delayed again, which pushed it out. So if this is just a delay to 6.5, it would take another delay, theoretically, to push it out of the expansion. So there's hope there that that won't happen. At least I hope. But yeah, people would riot if they do that. The other thing too is like even though 1% of the people do it, the viewership for Ultimates is insanely high. Like a lot of people watch. So
Yoshi P, last week we did some interviews, reviewed some interviews. We got another one sneaking in there under the wire, some emailed questions over to Naoki Yoshida from the team at GameSpot, Tamura Hussein specifically, so credit where due. Not really a lot in here. Some, couple softball questions, the typical stuff you would expect before a live letter here. How have you found the experience of starting up a whole new story after getting out of, one that lasted for so long? And, he was relieved, and now they're looking forward. How do we get people excited about a whole new story? So, kind of par for the course, exactly what you would expect. They did, though, ask about and we talked about it on the show before, the cutscene changes that were introduced in a couple spots when 6.2 went live. The way they worded it was, you've made some notable changes to cutscenes following specific dungeons to go along with adding them to the trust system. These seem like great opportunities to go back and enhance those. Are there any old scenes you wish you could redo a certain way or are excited to revisit? Yoshi P saying, we're still in the middle of integrating the duty support feature into existing content and working our way up. I didn't have too many elements I specifically wanted to change, but one of the themes of Heavensward, which we updated in this round, was traveling alongside allies. So it was one of the things I wanted to revisit for sure. So not only did we have like that little bit of dialogue change that we talked about on this show that made a certain death all that much more, heartbreaking, when you read the new dialogue. But some of the scenes after the dungeons changed, and it seems like he's just kind of, it's not something they plan to do a lot of. It's just, it makes a little more sense since the focus on a single-player experience using the trust system should flesh out some of these my allies are always there concepts, I guess, Kronos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really see him as that much of a significant change. I know some people like really freaked out over like the vault one. I mean, it just makes it hit a little harder. It's like I don't know, like I feel like that was like always the case. They just changed a thing that like just made it like so it was more understood of like how it happened. And then like obviously when you put like a Stinian or something in a dungeon, things are going to change. So that kind of stuff makes sense. I don't think they're going to make like some other some sweeping change. I think you're going to see like more like akin to like the Estinian stuff, where if they put someone in, they'll have to like adjust something like because they weren't really there before, I guess. But I mean, even at this point, there's only really one more expansion left for them to do. I guess like the end of Heavensward and then Stormblood. So,
are you a fan of this type of thing, Tark? Like, movies do it, TV shows do it. Famously Star Wars and George Lucas going back in to cut the special editions, which I think we can all agree on this panel was the worst possible thing he could have done. But are you okay with the creators of an art, in this case a video game, an MMORPG, going back and editing these things, even if they're in like the really minorest of ways?
Yes, because it's their art, and if they want to change it, that's totally up to them. Whether you enjoy that or not, it's up to you. I like the George Lucas thing. I was not a big fan of Special Edition. I still have my VHS tapes of the original, so if I ever want to watch original, I can. But that's with something like an MMO or a video game. If they change something, it's changed. So
Yeah, you can't go back home on this one.
You can't go back home. But that's something like The Last of Us with the redo. Like, if you don't like the way it's visually, it's gorgeous. But I still have my original, so I can always go back and play that. But with the MMO, it's just so different. But it's their art. If they felt that this is the best thing for the game, that's their call. I can like it or dislike it, but it's their call. It's fine.
You all right with the Chronos, or does it kind of bother you as somebody who's already consumed that media, whatever it is, and maybe now is trying to get a friend in, but things are a little different in big or small ways? Like, does that bug you? I know some people just really gets under their skin.
It depends on, like, for this particular instance, no. Like, I as a comic book fan, when it comes to that stuff, I do get kind of defensive sometimes. When people take certain liberties, but with this, I don't think they're really making some crazy change. I think they're just making
I'm not implying that these are big,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
No, yeah. I don't mean that you are. I'm just saying, like, I feel like I don't care about these because they're not big, and it makes like the trust system make more sense, which I'm all for. So it doesn't really bother me at all. Plus, I'm not gonna go back and replay this stuff. I'm not even gonna go back and do these dungeons with trust. The trust system's not made for me. Like, it's made for other people that want to enjoy it that way, and that's great. The only time I really do the trust is to level them up to max and get whatever achievement it is, and then I'm done. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me, and it doesn't bother me.
I guess I got to take it on like a case-by-case basis. Newest Girl says, I grew up with the special editions. I'm used to the song and dance number in Return of the Jedi. I will never be used to that. That sequence just absolutely blows my mind. My daughter finally got her to sit down and watch all of the Star Wars movies, the 9 main ones. She had seen the sequel trilogy in the theaters as they came out. But finally, this was only like 4 or 5 months ago, got her to sit down and start watching them. So, of course, she was in love with Hayden Christensen for a while. Like, oh, my God, he's just gorgeous. So I'm like, shut up. He's Darth Vader. Spoiler. And, and then that scene, I totally, I knew about, like, I remembered, like, the, added creatures on Tatooine and stuff like that. And then we get to
Jabba.
Return of the Jedi and Jabba in the hangar. At Mos Eisley. And then we get to that scene in Return of the Jedi, and I was like, God, I don't remember this being this bad. This is horrid. Like, this is absolutely awful.
It's jarring. It's late 90s CGI.
It is absolutely awful.
But I mean, I feel like the one that got the most heat, at least from like really diehards, was the Han Greedo scene, because they changed that.
Yeah.
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 Han shoots first.
Oh, 100%. 100%. They did ask Yoshi P what his favorite part of Island Sanctuary was. And you might be surprised by the answer. He hasn't been there yet. Now, obviously, he's been there for like testing and development and stuff like that. But on his own personal account, he hasn't been there yet.
Funny.
He hasn't even sailed to the island. Hasn't even been there.
I was going to say his favorite is putting on an autopilot and only going back once a week.
He says, I've been thinking about leisurely enjoying my Island Sanctuary life once the other content has settled down. Like, at what point is it going to settle down enough for Yoshi P, of all people? Like, right? For us, it's like, okay, 625's coming. We're kind of done with everything. I'll just go in and I'll do some Mammoth stuff today. No problem. Yoshi P, like, when's that dude's life going to slow down a little bit? So, yeah, hasn't been there.
I feel attacked. I feel like he's trying to tell me I played it wrong. I played it correctly.
I told you played it wrong on this show.
No. It's just a point of view. I played it correctly. Y'all played it wrong. I don't know what you're talking about.
Here's something funny that I think was for covering stuff for MMO Bomb. When I saw the headlines start popping up on this one, I was like, guys, this is not new. Like, we covered this months ago on MMO Bomb. We covered it on this show. They asked if you could add any type of game type, maybe survival, battle royale, whatever, to Final Fantasy XIV without any restrictions. What would you like to put in? And first off, he was like, that's just not the way my brain works. You know, my brain constantly has all the restrictions in it on what we can do. So I can't really answer that question. But he did bring up, and he didn't use the word battle royale this time, but he did before, months and months ago. He said, with that in mind, while ensuring we don't lose that Final Fantasy feel, I do think that the idea of content using blue mages could be interesting. I'd imagine there'd be a vast field where you can learn blue magic spells from enemies and other players, and everyone would fight to be the last one standing using the spells they'd learn. It'd be nice to make that a reality one day, but for now, the currently planned content takes priority. So he's not letting go of this blue mage battle royale. But this is not the first time. When I saw the headlines pop up on like my competitors' websites, I was like, guys, really? This was like 6 months ago that he said this before. He's just saying the same thing again. It's something I think would be neat. I'm still kind of... I'm all for some blue mage content. I don't know if I'd be down with a battle royale. I don't know if I'd be down with a... I wasn't... I'd have to go back and watch the show.
In this game.
I'd have to watch the show to see like if I even cared enough, but I do want blue mage content. Just do something with it. Fuck. Something with it.
Let's start with getting it to level 80. How about that? Let's start with that.
Just make it not a limited job.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Then we'd only have one limited job left, machinist, and then we'd be good.
Yeah, and then they asked them the typical Hildebrands coming back question. Yeah. So all in all, I kind of, a softball interview, no doubt, but it wasn't meant to be super heavy or anything. And yeah, Blue Mage Battle Royale. Chat saying they'll all care when it's no longer limited. I think that's all we got on the 14 front. I mean, with a little over 24 hours to go, not really much we can do. So let's, oh God.
Let's go to Reddit.
Let's go to Final Fantasy XIV's Reddit. It came from Reddit. First up, Tark wanted to talk about somebody's conspiracy theory.
No, that was me.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah.
I just brought it up.
I thought for sure that was Tark.
No,
yeah, I took
that
it
was
out.
Me.
I thought for sure that was Tark because neither of you put initials next to it.
Yeah, you're supposed to put initials, dude. I put initials.
I wanted it to be a mystery.
That way I can segue to you. Yeah.
No,
so apparently, what was it? So somebody like just went off.
I just thought it was hilarious. I thought it was so.
Go ahead. What the hell was it? Like
it was so batshit crazy that I thought it was so funny.
Well, that's the thing. I read it and I was like, either they're joking, in which case this is stupid, or they're serious and they've got problems. So I don't want to be perceived like mocking this.
I mean, you bring this on yourself when you put this on Reddit. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know.
It's on Reddit. We're just.
All right, go for it. Go for it.
I mean, we don't need to talk about it, but it's fine. Okay. I mean, basically, the TLDR is someone made a giant post on Reddit that RMT people and like people selling Savage runs are basically sabotaging Party Finder by sending in what they call agents of chaos, which I found hilarious, by the way.
I mean, that is a tremendous name.
To parties to sabotage them so that they could then incentivize these same people because they continually fail to buy Savage clears. And this is causing the clear rate in Party Finder to go down. As a person who party finds a lot, I party find after I clear and I go help people clear. I have never ever seen this one time in my life. I'm not saying it's never happened. There's always a chance something weird happens.
They do push most of the blame on, and they even say, well, not specifically, not all of them, but like they push the blame on mass World of Warcraft RMT refugees.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's either a really hilarious troll, and in which case it's funny, or it's someone who really believes this, which I think is also funny. So I don't know. Comedy either way to me. But I just thought it was great.
So no truth to it? You don't think there's any truth to it?
No. I mean, there's definitely people selling Savage. I mean, that's
got you.
true.
So you, so Tark Kronos is an agent of chaos denier. That's what he is.
I am not good. You have to clear Savage like week 1 to be able to sell Savage. So that's not me. It's not me doing it.
He's honestly, an agent of chaos denier.
This whole post was just so hard to read because it was just so grammatically like all over the place.
It did.
Figure out its thoughts. I'm like, okay, this guy is crazy. Because I just can't imagine there being an organized effort to sabotage Savages to such a degree that it forces people to buy their clears from other individuals. It's like that's just blows my mind. Could it be possible? Maybe like 1% possible, but it's so crazy.
You just gotta read You just gotta read this one sentence. And I quote.
Go ahead.
These individuals jump from party to party to check and find parties that don't have one of their agents of chaos in it. A little bit like bandits or criminals going from house to house, check if someone's been there or the house has already been marked by a rival gang of thieves. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That
just blew my mind. So crazy.
Just blew my mind. Had to remove my glasses, Baron Vagabond said. 10K points, that'll do it. All right, so I'm going to bring something good. This absolutely gorgeous Y'shtola cosplay. Absolutely gorgeous. Posted by Sunko Plays. Photography was, to give credit, taken by, from what they post, somebody named Mike. If you check out their Instagram, though, it's photo design Joseph Christoph. So, yes. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this cosplay. Apparently, by the way, if you read the post, this picture of this cosplay was accidental, like not planned. Like, so they spent like 5 months making the dress and everything. And they go out to do this photo shoot, like in a field or, you know, a bunch of rocks and shit, wherever they're doing it. And then they see this like little cave, and they weren't planning to take photos in there. They're just like, oh, let's go take a look. You know, like we all do. Like, I've definitely done it. Let's go explore a little bit. They get inside, and when they get to this little area, the sun is like kind of shining through these holes, and they're like, well, fuck. Perfect get over there on those rocks. This is gorgeous. Take a picture. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, cosplay always amazes me. Like, and I'm not one of those.
This level of cosplay? Oh,
yeah. Absolutely. I mean, this is, absolutely gorgeous. So well done.
I'll just
to both Sunko Plays for the actual cosplay itself, and then to Mike for the beautiful photography work on it too. Absolutely.
Now I no longer have to imagine what Y'shtola looks like in real life. This is
so dead on. Like even the facial features,
the neck tattoo.
Yeah. Like even their facial features, dead on. Just like kind of got that I'm gonna fuck you up look in her eyes there. Just like, oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just well done. I love cosplay. I've always I've always been like, I really want to do a nice, cool ass cosplay for something at some point in my life. Just once, but I'm literally the type of guy that I'd have to like commission somebody to make it, because I'm just not. You ask me to build something, Tark, I can build it for you. You need a new bookshelf? I'll make you a sweet ass bookshelf. You know, like just no problem. But when it comes to like this type of stuff where there's like more artistic talent in it, I am just no good at it. You found cosplay really creepy. I think it can be. Yeah, I think it can be. Obviously, then there's that like whole kind of section of cosplay, which is, you know, almost the erotic art type cosplay. That I'm not really into all that. I mean, I appreciate a beautiful girl and a great costume as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong. I like this type of stuff more. This is just like, this really impresses me.
Yeah.
Have you ever cosplayed, Kronos?
Look at me. No.
He doesn't even dance. Come on.
He was like, look at me. No.
No. I enjoy a good, you know, logo t-shirt, maybe a nice hoodie with something that I really enjoy. That's about as far as it goes.
He said, look at me.
No, I think people, it really impresses me when people Like you could tell. Like I mean, I've gone to
Yeah.
conventions, enough conventions and stuff.
Oh
But,
yeah.
I've dressed up for Halloween and won some awards for Halloween.
bro,
but
I don't even
nothing
dress
my
up for
kids,
Halloween.
my kids have gone to like a Steel City Con in Pittsburgh with a convention here, and they've cosplayed. Like my oldest boy was John Hammond. He was like 14 at the time, and he had like a white beard and everything. Like he looked great. Torchwick is very into steampunk type stuff. He's worn steampunk stuff, so that's not like really cosplay because he's not going as a specific character, but he's dressed in steampunk stuff. Like they look great. Me, I'm like, unless somebody makes it for me, I'm gonna look like I taped a mask to my face because that's probably what I did.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's just I'm like it's not for me, but I like people. Like I like seeing what other people do with it. And I like at convention just seeing like certain people like cosplay characters they recognize and like instantly recognize. It's like, I mean, that's cool. I'm sure they enjoy that too because I mean that's probably what they're going
Do you ever
for.
cosplay, Tark?
Again, the best I've done is Halloween parties, fairly large ones. But I've won best in show for my Jack Skellington, best in show for my Beetlejuice, and most frightening for my Pennywise the Milkman.
You see, but that was Halloween costumes. That's different.
See, I don't even do that though. I'm the guy that shows up to the Halloween costumes. In
I dress up for
in my work
Halloween.
attire.
So,
I show up in my work.
I got kids.
I
I take around and do trick or treating, so it's not like I'm like the weird ass
Oh, that's
40-year-old
fair.
walking down the street in a Halloween costume alone. That's not me.
I love this kids. Honestly, if
but I
ever
totally
have kids,
would.
I'm sure I will. When I have kids, I'm sure I will do it.
We're gonna have a haunt at my place next year, so yeah,
Nice.
get ready for that. We'll set up a camera and take everybody through it. My oldest boy and I have wanted to do a haunt for years. We're finally starting planning for next year. So yeah. We also have relationship goals, right? We've done this one before where we had the blankets over the couples that were watching cutscenes so that they weren't spoiling it for their significant others. So here comes one, and this is from, and I'm going to mispronounce this. I apologize. Niger Hado on Reddit, saying dating a raider has some perks, and this is my best in slot hardcore raiding ultimate clearing waifu. Me showing her all the raids I want to get carried through. The part I loved about this the most is if like you sit there and parse the gear, even the gear is like on par with what they're saying. One character against the other, as far as I thought this was amazing.
Raid gear versus what looks like artifact gear. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's savage raid gear too. So yeah, absolutely a great one. Reddit did like this one. Lots of people asking for the image without the text so that they could use this for other things. So I'm sure this meme will continue to live on in our hearts. Because yeah, good memes never die. I absolutely love this one. I love this one. Void of No One posting this on Reddit. A stop motion animation done in Final Fantasy XIV, taking at least 450,000 gil and 350 screenshots. If you are in the US and you don't watch like a lot of international television, you might not know what this is. This is Soup Opera. It's a very stop-motion children's French TV show, and this is done in the style of that show. This is very, very well done too. Like I expected, I was like only 350 screenshots, and I saw like it was X minutes long, and I'm like that's gonna be pretty choppy. You need a lot more screenshots than that. Nah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The ending is the best part. When the fight on the table happens, Tark.
The stereotype for dragoons will never die.
Here it comes, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the fight right here.
Yep.
Estinian was pulling. That's what happens when you.
And then here's some friends. Some friends. They got the light party. Here we go, baby. Oh, off the table. That's absolutely amazing. Void of No One. Fantastic job. Fantastic job.
And Estinian gets the loot, of course.
Of course. Of course. Very, very cute. What'd you think, Kronos?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Did I make you smile with my picks?
No, they're good. They're good. Not as good as the conspiracy theory.
Oh, damn it.
Womp womp.
No. These are like much better Reddit posts. I have dark humor. I'm sorry.
I picked the wholesome ones. I picked the floor tank forever. Absolutely, chat. All right, let's talk about some other Square Enix stuff. If you've got great Reddit posts from Final Fantasy XIV you've seen or you put up yourself, send them over to us, contact@ReadyCheckRadio. We'll be sure to file them away for the future episodes where we do It Was Seen on Reddit. They don't have to be brand new, so it's all right. You can send them to us now, and if we do it in a month, I'll go back and pick the ones we like. I'm going to say what the literal fuck to this first story. But I do have to preface that. I get it, right? There is money to be made. You do want to cross-promote your products in general, your brands, your IPs. I get that portion. I get that Square Enix has a Final Fantasy trading card game that basically is just a miscellaneous product to them. I get it. I get all of that.
That's sad.
I get promoting Final Fantasy in any way you can is good for Square Enix. I get it. Square partnering with Wizards of the Coast to produce a Universes Beyond Magic the Gathering crossover that will include Final Fantasy, as well as other things, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. There are others in this initiative, and they've already done some with like Warhammer and Doctor Who.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, yeah. They sell like Fortnite. They sell like crazy. They're usually like in the Secret Lair sets or in Commander decks. They're never like they're not canon. So they're never like in standards or the tournament formats, the popular tournament formats. They sell like crazy. They make a ton of money with these cross promotions with Magic the Gathering fans and obviously fans of the IPs they bring in. But Final Fantasy has a damn card game, Tark. You have a card game. And I don't think anybody in their right mind, no matter how much of a Final Fantasy TCG fan they are, like myself, would say it is a competitor to Magic. It is not.
No.
Magic the Gathering just, absolutely pummels it to death. They're on track to what? Have their like first $1 billion year? Yeah. The collectible card game just itself to have its first $1 billion year. So, yeah, it's not a competitor, but you have a product in this same space that I bet the hundreds of and thousands of people that spend thousands and thousands of dollars on this stuff when it comes out in Magic the Gathering aren't even going to know Final Fantasy has a card game. It's so infuriating. It's so infuriating. I've never been in a position where I got why you were doing it and what you were doing, but been so mad that you were doing it at the same time.
Because they don't promote their own product. It's just so sad. I tried to find here in Idaho, places that I could go, and the couple places that used to don't anymore. They're like, it just didn't sell. So we don't, they don't promote it at all. It's like, I wanted to get into it, but there's nothing around me that's getting into it. It sucks.
I mean, it would help. I'm pretty sure most people in their company don't even know they have a card game, honestly.
There's so many little ways.
And we've talked about it with the crew all over, North America on the Facebook page and stuff. Everybody kind of asking about it and expressing concern. Then other people are like, "Look, the people that made this decision, they probably don't even know their company has a card game."
I guarantee you they don't. I guarantee you. You know what's going to make you even more mad when they advertise this in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100% they will.
Because this will actually get pushed to do. If there's a Y'shtola card, which there probably will be, it's gonna get advertised. I bet, and you're gonna see more advertisement for this than you will for anything of their own product.
Yep.
It's just, that's just how it is. That's how it's gonna be.
Made me want to cry. Made me want to cry. Like I said, it's not like I'm so fanboyish that I don't get it. I get the business reasons behind doing it and wanting to do it and stuff like that, but And you know, like you can't be like, well, hey, we'll definitely do it, but if you got to let us put in this advertising card for our trading card game, because Wizards gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. No,
Wizards not gonna like that.
Yeah, that's not
Why
gonna
they don't
happen.
put like one promotional card in each video game they release?
They did it
Is
one
beyond
time.
me.
They did it once.
One time,
Yeah,
and then never again.
Dissidia. Yeah, they did it with Dissidia. Promo
Yep.
1, 2, and 3 were in Dissidia.
Yeah, they just. I mean, I don't know. I've said too many bad things about it already. They don't treat it like a card game. They treat it like Mike said. It's to them. It's like
It's another
might as well be a board game. Yeah, or a play arts.
Well, and I mean, legitimately, that's where it sits in their P&L is the miscellaneous. You know, it's the miscellaneous dry goods type stuff, the merchandise line of their P&L. That's where it's at. It's just considered merchandise.
Yeah.
And I get it. You know, I'm not faulting them for that. It's got to be on the P&L somewhere, and it's not big enough to have its own category. I get it. But, yeah. I also saw on the Facebook that there was a, and I didn't put this in the show notes, but somebody's local store had like a cardboard display set up in a board game counter that said the Final Fantasy VII Remake original board game coming soon, but like haven't been able to find information on that anywhere yet. So that'll be interesting.
Speaking of play arts and static arts, right?
Indeed. Look at this. We got a new
gorgeous.
Static Arts figure, Tifa, in the exotic dress variant. Now available for pre-order on the Square Enix store for the mere price of $199.99.
So awful.
This following in the line, like with the Aerith Gainsborough dress version, and then the Cloud Strife one. Like we've shown pretty much all of these as they've been announced. Here you go. 200 bones. 200 bones.
So when I first see these, I'm like, okay, if it's for $100, I probably will buy it. And then I see the price, I'm like, nope. They're just asked so much. They gouge the crap out of these things.
Square Enix, who they marketing this to? They're marketing it exactly to the people they know will buy it. I mean, it is obviously a smaller audience that is going to spend that type of money on these types of figures, but man, static arts, play arts, like they sell quick. They sell out, and then the side market just goes ape shit.
Yeah,
like it goes I mean, I've sold some of them on the secondary market after the fact. They just go nuts price wise. So even if you're not a fan of it, these are things that you can grab for $200, and a year from now probably get $4 very easily. Like
maybe I should start doing that with these.
It's not a bad idea.
Keep them in box.
Hey, this week we got like a whole dump of Tactics Ogre. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy Tactics remake information. Like they went crazy. Or Tactics Ogre Reborn. Sorry,
you were right the first time.
I was right.
I was about to say. I was like, did you change something?
Tactics
did I miss something?
No. Tactics Ogre Reborn. Tactics Ogre Reborn. Like they dumped a ton of information. Now some of it is actually on the North American Square Enix site when it comes to the character introductions. And the class introductions and details. And they give a ton of screenshots, so go check it out if you haven't already. There's an awful lot there. The art I love the art. I'm a huge fan of it. It like just retains enough of the original to stay charming, but look updated at the same time. Like I think they really nailed it. The voice acting seems to be on point for the stuff that they're showing so far. But there's actually more on the sites overseas that so I'm going to be looking at Gematsu here, so credit to them for translating portions that talked about system changes and screenshots of menus, and they even did a whole list of like, here's 7 things changing in this game or being updated for this game that you should know about. What did you think going through the entire info dump there, Kronos?
Yeah, I'm just ready for this game to come out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be sold more on this game particularly. It's kind of like I just want to play it.
Oh, News Girl doesn't like the voice acting? I thought some of it was, I mean, some of it's okay, but I thought some of it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I don't know. I just want to play the game again. I don't even need the game to change at all. It could be the same game. But I mean, again, I want it to sell well, so I think them doing this kind of stuff it's good. So
I mean, we also do have, of course, my ancestor Tark in the game. I don't know if you knew this or not. It's based on an ancestor of mine, Gildus W. Byrne.
Oh, okay.
Sir Gildus. Last name's Byrne.
Okay.
Like legitimately, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Go check it out. So 7 major battle-related updates, Tark. They say turn the tables with buff cards. So you're going to have buff cards appear on the battlefield, and when a unit picks up a buff card, it gains bonuses that last for the rest of that battle, such as increased attack power or crit chance. The bonus gain depends on the type of card found. Your units must vie against the enemy to obtain these buff cards. And how you move and respond in combat to gain advantage they provide is a thrilling aspect of battle unique to this title. A unit can have the effects of up to 4 buff cards at once, and the more buff cards with similar effects are stacked, the greater the effect, dynamically changing the shape of the battle as units acquire more cards. Fan, you all right with this? You like this?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think anything that brings a little spice to battles, especially for replaying them to level up or whatnot. Another thing I'm a big fan of is crafting is now 100%. So
yeah. That's a little later in the list.
No more breaking.
Can't fail.
Seeing,
and you'll be able to craft multiples.
Yes, you can craft multiples. Seeing names like Canopus and Deneb, it just brings all the hearts and feels to me from Ogre Battle. I want them to do that one next. One thing I don't like is this party level, like basically capping the level, so you can't like over grind and brute way your force through. I feel that should still be an option for people that may be having trouble with the tactics portion of it. But overall, it looks great. I like the dubbing and the voice acting. I can't wait. This is day 1. Getting it. Yes.
Random battles gone. Chronos, yes, they're gone.
Yeah.
You're not going to have those anymore. Instead, you could just queue up for training battles at specific locations whenever you like, if you feel like you want to grind or farm something up.
See, Triangle Strategy, I think, had that problem too. I don't know, something about random battles in Tactical, like just like the fact that it's, even though there's like a set amount, obviously, right? Like, I don't know. I just don't like queuing up for something that's the same every time, because then somebody's just gonna figure out some way to do it optimally, and then you're just gonna spam the same thing. And I don't know.
Well, funny about that, because they do say that their new AI, takes care of that. The enemy considers the terrain, recognizing features such as narrow roads and wide open plains, as well as players' movement, using this information to decide where the battlefront is and choose the best point to engage the player. In addition, how the enemy responds to the buff cards that appear at random creates an ever-changing battle that never feels repetitive. Wink, wink. Wink.
I'll believe that. I'll believe that when I see it. Somebody's going to figure out how to do stuff. It's always the case.
Every 4th time you go into this battle, it'll be a certain layout, and then you can win by this specific method. There you go.
Yeah.
They are bringing back the reviving incapacitated units, where you'll have a counter, going above they're downed. When they're downed and their HP is 0, you'll have a counter for a certain number of turns to revive them before they permanently then die.
Yeah, it's permadeath, right?
After, if you
it's like Tactics.
If that counter reads 0, yeah, it's like Final Fantasy Tactics was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get
so you'll hit 0 hit point, you'll go down, you'll get a counter above your head that says 3, and then it'll count down over 3 turns. And if you haven't revived them or ended the battle by the time that counter reaches 0, then they are permanently deceased.
Nice.
They be deceased. They be deceased. I'm looking forward to it. We don't have much longer to wait. This one's really weird. I found this, but then they didn't update it, and I think they should. This comes from xfire.com, whose initial headline on this was Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster might be coming to consoles soon. Square Enix continues to add to its stacked lineup of upcoming RPGs that's coming in the next few months and next year. This didn't surprise me, because we all said on this show, like, they have to at some point, right? They have to. They were made to be on the Nintendo Switch. Now it doesn't matter, right? I got the Steam Deck, and so that I'm fine. But if you don't have a Steam Deck, it'd be nice to play these on the consoles, particularly a Nintendo Switch. And the proof for this, and they did say, hey, this is kind of just speculation. So to be fair, it's not like they lied, but the headline was a little clickbaity. The proof of this was if you actually went to Square Enix's North American press page and look at their upcoming release schedule, there was a listing for Pixel Remaster. The platform just said console, and the release date said TBA. TBA. However, if you go there now, you won't see it. It's gone.
It's gone.
And they did say, hey, I'm sorry, it didn't have console. It said without a platform. They said, hey, this could just be an old listing Square Enix forgot to update. And maybe that's the case because it's not there anymore. Or maybe they're just not ready to announce it yet. But I still think this comes to consoles as a collection sometimes. At some point. It has to.
As a collection?
Yeah, as a collection.
Oh, it's going to be 6 separate games.
Oh.
You know they're going to do it. They're going to sell them 6. I think it will come to console, but it's going to be 6 separate games.
All digital, no physical copy. Make me sad.
You might be able to get maybe like one of those overseas companies will do like physical copies that like limited run stuff. That would be cool. Actually, I would probably contemplate picking that up if they do that. But
hell yeah.
It's probably gonna. I mean, it'll probably be marketed digital and B6 just like it is on Steam.
If you want to try a strategy game, but you've been waiting for a PC release, Triangle Strategy will be released on the PC next week. Boom, you got it. So if you didn't pick it up on consoles, you were hoping for a PC release, which they had kind of hinted they were going to do, but never gave a date. You now have one, October 13th. October 13th. Hey, I brought this here. I know, forgive me, guys. I know it's not exactly Square Enix anymore. It's Embracer Group and all that stuff. I know. But did you see that Crystal Dynamics sent out a Legacy of Kain survey?
Yes, I did.
Did you take the survey?
No, because I'm sad.
Go take the damn survey!
All right, I'll take the survey.
Did you take it, Kronos?
I did not have it yet.
Go take it! So they sent out a survey asking about specifically the mainline Legacy of Kain titles. Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain from 96. Soul Reaver from 99. Soul Reaver 2 from 2001. Blood Omen 2 from 2002. And Legacy of Kain Defiance from 2003. Those were the ones. They didn't bring Nosgoth into this, and they just brought those. And the questions included things like, have you ever seen someone stream a Legacy of Kain game? How would you rate each game you've played in the series? What are your favorite parts about the series mechanically and thematically? Who's your favorite protagonist? What would your reaction to a new vampire game be? Do you want to see a sequel, a remake, a reboot, or a remaster? Do you want a theoretical game to be a single or multiplayer? Co-op is also an option. Doesn't mean that they're doing anything yet. But it does mean that they're at least open to it. Open to it. So I definitely took this damn survey. Definitely took this damn survey. I had the survey done before I pasted the link in the show notes.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities. So yes, exactly, newest girl. Feelers are being put out. We'll circle back on this one in just a second.
And
Square
of
Enix
course,
put
real
up...
quick,
Go ahead, Tark.
Embracer is like, go ahead. Yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead. No ties up for you guys. So
yeah, Embracer's like, we like money. That's fine. Go do whatever you want. Square Enix put out their list of our 7 of our favorite thieves and rogues in Square Enix games, and I want to know if you agree with the list here. We got Eric from Dragon Quest XI. We got Locke from Pixel Remaster 6. And they even acknowledge he's not a thief. He's a treasure hunter. Get it right. Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII. Jack from Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Hello.
Riku Therion from Octopath Traveler. And Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. So I'm going to... in the show notes, I literally put, why the hell is Jack on here? Like, why is a character that can be any class
Yeah, exactly.
on the thief list? No.
Bart should be on here. Why is Bart not on the list?
Yes.
That's a card joke, by the way.
Yeah, social media team running joke. I know it is, but it's Zidane, number one. Zidane.
I think they did another one too, and I think Jack was on that list too. So I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Jack's
it's a running joke. Yeah, it's a running joke.
Yeah.
Eric is legit. You're playing through Dragon Quest XI right now. Yeah, Tark would agree with you. He just finished an 11 playthrough not all that long ago.
About 2 years ago, yeah.
All right, gents, let's go to Love It or Leave It. Love It or Leave It is the way we end every episode of the Relic Grind here on Ready Check Radio. It's where I give you something Square Enix related. Could be something a game they put out, a feature of a game, a press release, something they did, or even just something tangentially related because it's my show and I get to pick whatever the hell I want to put on here. So I did exactly that today. I'm going to make it a little variant this week. Instead of Love It or Leave It, you got to love one and leave the other one. Do you want a remake of any single Legacy of Kain title? Or do you want a new Legacy of Kain title? You got to love one and leave the other one. And on that remake one, it could be whichever of the 5 mainline games you want. It doesn't have to be a specific one, the first one, the last one, whatever. Do you want love the remake, love the new, and which one are you going to leave? What do you got, Tark?
It has to be pretty easy. I want a new game because I can play all the old ones. I don't necessarily need a remake, so I will love having a new game, and I will leave all the remakes.
Kronos.
Yeah, for me, a remake kind of depends on the series. For these, personally, for this one, I'd like to see a new game too, and I think you would still be able to like prey on the nostalgia, anyways. So, I'd like to see. Yeah, I'm gonna love the new game and leave the remakes as well.
I'm gonna love a remake and leave a new game. I would love both. I would absolutely love both. But I think this one's been gone for so long when you think about it. That I think to properly kick it off and to maybe revitalize the IP, I think you re-explore an established story that is well done, that you know was good, and you update it to modern gameplay standards to make me as an old player feel happy, but also draw on a new player who isn't looking at it going, I got to play 5 games from 20 years ago to... I think you do a remake first. So I'm going to love the remake and leave the new one, although I do want a new one. Valkyrie Elysium. What's that?
Do you go all the way back to Blood Omen, or you do Soul Reaver?
Oh, if I have to pick which one, I probably for me personally, it would be Soul Reaver 2. I think that's the one you reboot. Just for me, as far as which one was like the best game for me. But from a storytelling perspective, I could kind of see them going all the way back to Blood Omen and setting up Kain, or starting with Soul Reaver 1 and filling in the happenings of Blood Omen with like an opening cutscene. You know what I mean? Yeah, Valkyrie Elysium did come out September 29th. It's not getting very good reviews right now. We'll give it a few more days. On Steam though, it's what, November
11th?
11th on Steam. Yeah. It's just on consoles right now, right? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Just PS4 and 5.
Yep.
And yeah, Metacritic has it at a 66 with the user score of 61 based on 84 ratings. Again, that's on PlayStation 5 and 4 right now. Don't go anywhere, chat. Right after the show today, we've got Faye Death. What's up, Faye?
What up?
How you be?
Doing pretty good. Ready for
What you playing
more.
today?
We are back into Night in the Woods, having more aesthetic and potentially spoopy times, because there is a murder, an arm. I'd say a foot, but we found an arm, so.
A foot. There's murder, an arm. Murder, an arm. Yes, it is the spooky season. Faye can always be counted on for the cat ears and Halloween games, just like last year. Don't go anywhere, chat. We'll have Faye live in just a few minutes. Give us a chance to shut things down, relabel it for her, and we'll bring her back up. We'll, of course, be back next week. No, we won't. Check that. No, we'll be back Saturday. There we go. Saturday evening with Gaming Gumbo, our weekly gaming wrap-up. Lots to talk about there, including the Nintendo Direct that dropped the Super Mario movie trailer today. I thought the animation was great, by the way. Chris Pratt's voice still irritates the fuck out of me.
Jack Black killed it, though.
Jack Black nailed it.
So good.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Jack Black guy anymore. I used to be a long time ago, but he did nail the Bowser voice. He did nail it. Anyway, we'll be talking about that and more on Gaming Gumbo at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and then no shows next Thursday and Saturday. Got the whole weekend off to go spend time with Torchwick up at Rochester Institute of Technology. Until the next time we meet, Kronos, enjoy the live letter, and where can everybody find you?
Yeah, same as always, Twitter. If you want to discuss why my football team is better than your football team, you're more than welcome to. And hopefully I can clear some Savage this weekend.
Tark.
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at Tarkoth Gaming, playing Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch, and Diofield Chronicle on YouTube.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally right there at Magic Man 1, but more importantly, follow at RC Raideo, RAIDEO, and you'll get a tweet every time we go live with a podcast or any of our streams. Until next time, gang, thanks for joining us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers. Later.